I'm now going to continue my video series on memory with a funny story. But first, I want you to watch a video. The hyperlink to this video is in the description below. So I want you to pause this video and click the hyperlink. I can wait. Okay. So what's the big deal? Well, the big deal involves John Leonard. Ever heard of him? Probably not. You're sitting there going, who is this guy? I've never heard of this guy before in my entire life. Well, back in 1996, he became a big deal because he sued the Pepsi Corporation because of the commercial you just saw. I bet you're scratching your head right now going, what the heck are you talking about? Okay. Well, John Leonard and 5 other investors got together and they sent 15 Pepsi points and $7 million to the Pepsi Corporation to acquire the Harrier jump jet you saw in the commercial. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Well, they filed this lawsuit in Miami, Florida. It eventually reached the New York City courts, the New York City court system, and ultimately the court case was lost by John Leonard. Okay, and I'm going to include a link, a hyperlink to this particular article down here in the description below, so you can read the whole thing for yourself. Now, I know what you're going to ask. How are we going to remember any of this? Okay. Well, first you have to remember John Leonard's name. How are you going to do that? Well, remembering the name John is not going to be too hard, but how about that last name? Okay, we're going to break it up into 2 parts. Leo and Nerd. Okay, if you put Leo and Nerd together, you form Leonard. Now, what is Leo? Well, Leo is the name for lion. You can look this up for yourself. You can say Leo, lion, same thing. Okay, so now you've got the Leo, the lion. Now, all you have to do at this point is picture in your head the nerdiest lion you have ever seen in your entire life. Okay, now you got that picture in your head. We're going to go on here. Now, this particular lion is wearing a helmet. This would be the kind of helmet that you would wear if you were flying in a fighter jet. Okay? Now, on the top of that helmet is going to be the words Top Pig. Why Top Pig? Okay. Now, we've been discussing memory techniques, and if you're using the number system from these memory techniques, you'll know exactly why we're going to use the words Top Pig. Okay? So again, the words on the helmet is Top Pig. This will help you remember the year 1996. Okay. Now then, we remember now John Leonard. Okay, we're going to name the lion John. Okay, it's a nerdy lion. It's wearing a helmet with Top Pig on it. Okay. Now this lion is eating nuts. Why is it eating nuts? Because the nuts represent John's age. Okay? Now, you say, well, how do we remember that the nuts are representing John's age? Obviously, we're going to use the memory technique for the numbers because of the nuts. Okay? But these nuts are wearing party hats. Okay? So this could be a real weird picture here. So we've got Leo the lion. His name is John. He's the nerdiest lion you've ever seen. He is wearing a helmet with Top Pig on it. He's eating nuts with party hats on them. He takes off the party hat, eats the nuts. Okay. Now, this particular lion is sitting in the cockpit of a Harrier jump jet. And you say, well, I don't even know what a Harrier jump jet looks like. Okay, I'm going to leave a hyperlink below to show you exactly what the jump jet looks like. Okay, so now you can see it for yourself. Okay. Now then, you say, well, how are we going to remember that it's a Harrier jump jet? And how are we going to remember that this lawsuit was filed in Miami, Florida? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to picture in your head that this Harrier jump jet is growing hair. So jet, hair, Harrier. Get it? Okay. But it's growing orange hair. Why orange? Because Florida is famous for oranges. There you go. And of course, one of the most famous cities in Florida is Miami, so that won't be too hard to remember. Once you get the Florida image in your head, well, Miami is not too hard to remember after that. Okay. Now, how are we going to remember that it was Pepsi that was being sued? Well, inside the cockpit is not only Leo the lion, but it's also a fountain. We got a water fountain in here, but the water fountain isn't spewing out water. It's spewing out Pepsi. And that's how you're going to remember that. Okay? Now you say, well, how are we going to remember that this lawsuit went from Miami, Florida to New York City? Well, just imagine the Harrier jump jet flying over New York City. You say, well, how are we going to remember the 5 investors? Well, we're going to have 5 men sitting on a skyscraper in New York City, and of course the jump jet's flying right over it, okay? And these 5 guys have lots of money in their hands, okay? Now, not only do you want to picture them with lots of money in their hands, but you want to picture them gambling too, because, well, lucky 7, okay? And that's how you're going to picture the $7 million. Okay. So once you picture all of this, well, remembering the 15 points isn't going to be very hard once you remember the $7 million. Okay? I mean, sure, we can use other memory techniques to remember the number 15, but at that point it really doesn't matter that much. So now you have successfully remembered this very awkward and very real and very funny story. All right. I will tell you more in a future video, so I want you to stay tuned.